Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are Clueless Vegans.
So I think we all can agree that the world is kind of crazy right now, and so are the grocery stores.
From people hoarding and panic buying to people going through financial hardships, grocery shopping now feels even more of a challenge than ever before.
So that's why we wanted to share one of our recent grocery hauls with you. We hope that we can give you some cheap, easy vegan meal ideas that will help your next grocery trip be a lot less stressful.
Also, a disclaimer, we were very fortunate that a majority of our items were available, although some items were completely wiped off the shelves, but it is helpful to know that some ingredients do have alternatives. So,
with that being said, let's jump right in.
okay, so first off, for breakfast, we're making overnight oats. We already had oats on hand, so that made this haul a bit easier. So first, we have raisins to add some sweetness to the oats, followed by some soy milk. We actually ended up buying an extra one just because we'll be using it for extra recipes, and we like to put milk in our coffee as well. And last, some bananas.
Next we have lunches, and I will be making tacos for myself. And in my tacos, I will be putting red lentils, which I cook up and spice really nicely. And then I have these frozen onions and peppers that I'll fry up. And then last, I have some leftover potatoes from the past couple of weeks that I will fry up in the air fryer, and all of those together make some really nice tacos.
So for my lunch, I'll be making sandwiches. We went ahead and bought an extra loaf, which is in the freezer. And with those sandwiches, I will be mashing up some chickpeas, which essentially acts like a alternative to tuna fish sandwiches, which is kind of like a recipe that Sarah has showed me. And basically mash up the chickpeas, add some vegan mayo, which we have on hand, and throw in a bit of spices. And then next, as a side, I'll be cooking up some canned green beans. These have always been a sort of childhood favorite of mine. May not be for everybody, but I personally like them.
Now we have dinners, and we like to buy dinners that will last a long time, so chili is perfect for that. We start with a base of diced tomatoes and then add in a bunch of beans. So we got black beans, cannellini beans, and kidney beans, of course. I really like to have corn in my chili, so we got some of that as well. And then we splurged a little bit and got some light life sausage. We'll be using half of the package for the chili. And then to make it last even longer, we got some rice to put the chili over. And finally, we got some tortilla chips, to add a little crunch to the chili.
Alright, so for our next meal, we were originally going to do fideo, but all the fideo was out, so we decided to buy some small shells, which is essentially now going to be like a sopa de conchas, which is like another traditional Mexican dish. Basically, all you need is some tomato sauce, black beans, and some spices like cumin. That's a real important one. Onion powder, garlic powder. You can put chili powder, and some paprika. And we actually made some of this last night, and between Sarah and I, it makes about 2 meals, so definitely not bad at all.
A meal that I'm really excited about is this curry pasta dish that I have made in the past. So we start with an onion. I'll be using half of this for this meal and then half for the chili that we talked about earlier. And then after that's all fried up, we add some pepper and zucchini. And then after those are cooked, we create a really delicious sauce using diced tomatoes, coconut milk, and I also have, spices and red curry paste on hand. Once all of that is cooked up really nicely, you add some rotini pasta and just cook that like normal, and it results in this really creamy, cozy, delicious meal.
So for our last meal, we'll be making mac and cheese with broccoli and some of the light life sausage that we used from the chili. Sarah had, from our last grocery haul, Sarah had bought a big box of mac pasta, so we'll be using that for this recipe. And then for the actual cheese sauce, we use a simple recipe, which we'll link down below. And then finally, as a side, we'll be tossing in some mashed potatoes. All this makes a hearty and comfort meal.
Last but not least, we have a bunch of miscellaneous items, so I'll just go through those quickly. We bought some flour and also sugar in case we want to do any baking, and we'll also use sugar for our coffee. We got some teriyaki sauce that we'll use to put over some ingredients that we already had in the house. Of course, we had to get our coffee to last us for the next 2 weeks. We got some applesauce to use for dessert. I also got some apple cider vinegar, which we can use in baking, but I also use it as conditioner for my hair. We got some green onions, which we can put in pretty much any recipe that we want to. And then finally, we got some chips, which, as you can see, we have already dove into those. Overall, the total came to just about $100 for 2 weeks of food. So that's about $50 a week, and normally we would spend more than that per week, so we were pretty happy with how it turned out.
Alright guys, a few more things. We wanted to make this grocery haul last long, at least 2 weeks, maybe even longer. So here are a few guidelines that we followed.
First, and probably the most important guideline, is to only buy meals that we knew were going to last for more than 1 day.
Also, if you're buying an extra loaf of bread, be sure to freeze the second one so that it doesn't get moldy at all.
And then third, kind of similarly, if you're buying a bunch of veggies and you know you're not going to eat them the first week, make sure you freeze them. Otherwise, only buy enough fresh veggies for like 1 week or a couple of days, and then buy canned goods for your other meals.
Alright guys, that's it. Thanks for watching the video. We hope the information that you learned today will help make your next grocery trip an easier one.
Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.